What is up, guys? Dan from playbook.gg. In today's video of the spread series, we're going to be breaking down a mini scheme out of the gun normal Y-off formation.
Before we dive into this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the great tutorials that we've got headed your way here on the playbook.gg YouTube channel.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Now, in today's video, we are going to be breaking down a little 4 or 5 play mini scheme out of the gun normal Y-off. Again, this is the spread series dedicated to the spread playbook. This is known as the pass balance playbook in Ultimate Team. You guys can find this for 150 training points in the store. So you just go to the store, go to the training points tab in the store and buy an alternate playbook pack on the offensive side of the ball. And you're going to choose the pass balance playbook if you want to run this book. So what we're going to do here is set some audibles here. Let me go ahead and go through what I've got set up. You could go ahead and set up a number of plays as your base. It's totally up to you, but the play is going to, or the scheme is going to revolve around basically 4 or 5 core plays. What I have set up right now are the read option, the jet touch pass, the motion halfback swing, and spot wheel. So if you choose those 4 audibles, my recommendation is to come out in the midline read option or double dig as your base play. If you want to set, say, the midline read option as any one of the 4 audibles, I would say that the audible that you replace needs to be the base play that you come out in. Now, when we actually take a look at this, how are we going to run this scheme? Let's go ahead and pair it up into 2 things. You've got the midline read option and the regular read option. You've got the jet touch pass, which is going to be something to keep them honest with the ball being touch passed to the slot receiver and getting outside quickly. You've got the motion halfback swing, which if you take a look at that, that is a bubble screen to the backside behind 2 wide receiver blockers. It's something that's going to use motion the opposite direction of the jet touch pass motion to keep your opponent honest to that side of the field. And then we have also got the spot wheel, which uses that same motion, has a wheel route to the slot, and also has a potential diving post option to your outside receiver. So this is going to be one of those schemes that is going to be able to use the auto motion of the jet touch pass to get to the right side against that show blitz meta. And it's also going to use the auto motion of the running back to the weak side of the formation against the show blitz meta for the screen. And then you've got a decoy motion as well. So this is going to be a nice little scheme that you can run. I would say this is something that you could, if you master it, do pretty well with this as a base offense. But let's go ahead and break down the main thing that I wanted to break down in this video, which was the midline read option. So I'm going to go ahead and call this against random plays. Now, for those that don't know what a midline read option is, this is a read option in which you are optioning off of a interior technique. Depending on what type of front they are in, it's usually a defensive tackle. If they're in kind of a show blitz thing, sometimes it could be a middle linebacker in an A gap against a nickel double A gap front, but it varies from the read option that you might call as an audible. So that's why I like to set the read option as an audible, because it allows me to option off one of 2 different players on this and actually have my lineman target differently and climb to the second level. So if I were to call this type of play right here, we're going to read option off of the end man on the line of scrimmage, which is the player with the R icon. In this situation, if he stays home, I'm trying to run the ball into this front. You might have some success if he stays home. If he crashes, obviously, it's great because you can scoot to the outside. You know, you can pick up your yardage to the outside. But that's all predicated on what that read man does. So if he stays home, sometimes it makes it tougher because you're going to be able to, you know, you're going to have more trouble, I guess, running the ball into the front if they stay home and you have to give it to the running back. Whereas you might be able to option off an interior player on the midline and get your interior linemen to all get to the second level. So in this example, they're in kind of a 3-3-5 front. Kind of, or I'm sorry, a 3, yeah, that looks basically like a 3-4, 3-3-5 odd. And you're going to try to get those interior linemen to climb to the second level. So in this situation, you're letting the nose tackle through. And you see right here, in that spot, he stays home. So in that spot, if they freeze, you want to give the ball to running back. I was a little bit late on the read. Depending on how they crash, they might step to the side and then freeze. So you have to kind of read what they do. You see, and that's an example he follows. And unfortunately, our interior linemen don't hold their blocks. This is actually a run that's designed to get the quarterback rolling up the middle. You see right here how that can work for you if you read that correctly. So a lot of times if that D lineman chases the running back at that nose tackle position, all of a sudden you're climbing to the second level and you're getting good yardage. Let me go ahead and show you that replay just to kind of show you what I mean. So in this example, 65 is going to climb to the guard. 73 is also going to climb, or I'm sorry, 65 is going to climb to the linebacker. And your guards are also going to climb to that second level looking for a linebacker. So in this situation, Yanda is targeting not the nose tackle, but he's targeting 36 here. And what you could do is you're just going to read this player. So when the ball's snapped, you're reading this particular lineman. And if he chases the running back, which you can tell he's running, he gets this, he doesn't freeze immediately. So basically I'm just reading his legs. If he doesn't stop, I know he's chasing the running back. I'm going to pull with the quarterback and follow my blocks up inside. So you see right here, I catch my blocks from my guards and we run the midline down the middle of the field. So you kind of see what I mean right here. Now in this example, obviously you've got kind of a double A gap front. My recommendation in this regard is everybody is mugged up. They're easy to reach. Obviously you would want, like a speedy guy in the slot, but you might check into a jet touch pass in this example. Obviously it's going to come down to whether or not we can get a block on the edge. In this example, we do. We're able to run it and pick up big yardage around end. So what we're doing effectively with this scheme is we have the option to option off the nose tackle, the end man on the line of scrimmage, jet touch pass if they get too aggressive. Here's the example where if we run a read option, we're awesome if the guy crashes on the running back, but we're running into pretty much a wall if he stays home. So you see here in this example, he crashes. Great. Now we're out here to the second level. We're gonna go ahead and pick up our blocks and pick up a huge gain. Now, obviously you got to be careful with your quarterback as well, guys. Make sure you guys run on conservative or cover the ball or slide just to be safe. Now here in this example, again, we're in a midline again. He's going to go ahead and chase. Now we just follow our blocks up the middle and pick up our yardage up the middle. Pretty easy, right? So, this is something that's going to be able to allow you to establish kind of a run game against players who play a little bit more of an odd front. They don't mug all the gaps. You have jet touch pass stuff to the outside if they do mug all the gaps. Here in this example, they're playing kind of looks like an undershift on the defensive line. Defensive line is shifted away from strength. So, obviously right here, he's chasing. Now we're scooting around to the right side on the read option and sliding down. So again, right here in this example, you're able to get outside because you're not optioning off of the end man on the line of scrimmage. You're optioning off of an interior player, allowing you to get these blocks. You see, you get kind of a little chip, a double team block. The tight end kind of gives a little shove and goes and finds work at the second level. Didn't really do a good job of actually blocking about anybody at the second level, but we got enough out of that to get outside on that play. Whereas if they basically hit the option quarterback, you're not going to be able to do so. Your example is a bear front. You might go ahead and check into the jet touch pass. Again, when the ball's on one hash or the other, sometimes you have your receivers reset and shift. But if you have a front like this, absolutely get the ball outside, follow your blockers. Obviously, again, Willie Snead, not the ideal player for this type of scheme, but a shiftier receiver, a Tyreek Hill, Devin Hester might be your guy in that regard. Quarters 3 deep, you run the midline. He chases the running back. You're going to follow your blockers hopefully better than I did in that example. Now let's go ahead and get into more of like the heavier zone blitz meta. A lot of players obviously love to run your cover 2 style blitzes this year. So we'll go ahead and go right back into that scheme. Just want to come out on the field against different defense here. So let me go ahead and remind you guys, this is a play or formation number 11 in the 33 shotgun formation spread book. Again, the problem with this book is that there are 33 shotgun formations. And as I've said time and time again in the spread series, there is so much playbook trash in this. And we're trying to show you the good stuff here on the spread series. So let's go ahead and show you here. We come out and again, if you don't have midline in your options, I recommend setting that or double dig as your base play. You come out in that. Let's say that your opponent comes up and they decide, okay, I'm going to run kind of like a cover 2 blitz, right? So a lot of times with this, let's go ahead and put the ball on the other hash just for spacing purposes. Cover 2 blitz, let's say that they do this, right? This is where, you see them start to mug gaps. They stack the corner. This is where you want to hit that motion halfback wheel. Obviously, you need your wide receivers to do a good job blocking for you. But again, you're able to kind of throw this ball out wide and throw it to the running back and pick up yardage after the catch. So if they're mugging the gaps and really blitzing heavily from zone or playing kind of like a heavy blitz meta and putting their guys in outside quarters, this is what you're going to be able to do pretty well. Now, again, depending on what they're in, you still see that you can run the midline read option pretty well. You can run the midline against pretty much any front in the game. You just have to read your blocks and be pretty careful with it. But again, you're going to be able to run this motion halfback swing to the backside, especially if they're blitzing. And you're going to be able to throw that ball out wide. Hopefully you get a better block from your wide receiver, a better throw from your quarterback, pick up more yardage after the catch. Now, The one thing about this is that when you are running this type of play in your scheme, 9 out of 10 players, even the best players in the world, will chase. So with their user, they usually will get way out here and overcompensate to the bubble screen to the running back. They respect it almost way too much. That is why we have the play spot wheel in our audibles. Because if you take a look at this play, what you end up with in this play is a really, really nice route combination that does have a diving post. Now, the diving posts do work better against certain sets. In my opinion, you have better luck throwing the diving posts against hook curls rather than vertical hooks. But hopefully I'll be able to show you what I mean right here. So we'll kind of show that to you here. That didn't even get a diving animation right there. But again, at cover 2, you're able to split the safeties with the post route. A lot of times that auto motion will keep your opponent honest in the middle of the field. So again, they kind of like overuser to this side of the field because that's where the majority of the routes are. And to be able to bang a post to the backside against this is absolutely enormous. Obviously, if you have post flag elite right here, you're going to get the in traffic boosts. You're going to get the diving animations on this. But it is a route that you can just throw in general. Let me go ahead and get into like a cover 3 or cover 4 shell here and try to show you the diving post a little bit better. So again, formation 11. I find it much easier to remember these formations by number than by name because you're able to better, you're basically able to better navigate your book and find what you need. So show you right here. It's called like, say, regular cover 3, right? So again, with this type of look, you might go ahead and try to throw this diving post right there. You see that you can just throw it behind the hook curl tier and be able to pick that up. Another thing I oftentimes will do is put the tight end on an out route on this play just to kind of pull the flat zones as well. And you're going to see, you throw, boom, diving post right there. Super easy throwing lane. A lot of players are not going to stay home backside on the diving post window against the auto motion. So that's always something that you can do as well. Another thing I will do with this, especially with this route combination, is I will drag that X receiver, just give you a little inside throw. If they overuse their hook curl defender and say they vacate way out there, that's going to leave the middle of the field open. Obviously, I don't have a controller to play the defense, but I kind of want to run through that route progression and kind of help you understand the spacing of why I would do so. So say they're using this player right here, 48, and they see this bubble and they're thinking, okay, well, they're going to block me up on the screen. I got to get out there and play the running back. So let's say number 48 leaves and he goes all the way out here where this cursor is to try to jump down on this screen to this running back, right? So 48 is the player I'm talking about. That's why you have this shallow cross right here, because imagine 48 not being right here. Imagine him being further out here on the running back. That's where this little window is going to be for the shallow cross in the hole in the zone, right? Boom, right here is where you would throw this ball. And you can pick up a good 6-7 yards underneath on that simple route. And then the other thing that's great about this is that you do have this wheel route as well. Depending on what type of coverage they're in, you might be able to exploit that. So let me show you what I mean right here. We've talked about this here on Playbook GG frequently. This is an Ant Cap special. And speaking of Ant Cap, guys, we're going to have his new content coming out on the website this week. He's got a Tampa Bay gun doubles that is really, really fun to run. As you guys know, I'm not much of a shotgun guy this year, which is why I'm doing the spread series to try to help myself and help you guys along the way. This year is just a challenging year, but Ant Cap's got a great little scheme that he's got coming out of the website. So hopefully you guys check that out. So we'll go ahead and show you like a little Tampa 2 route manipulation here. In this situation, you might go ahead and put the ball on the short side of the field for this, but say you run the play mesh spot, or I'm sorry, the spot wheel, right? We've shown you the comeback wheel combination many a time, where what ends up happening is you can actually block the running back on this. The wheel route to Snead converts that. We actually didn't even block that edge player. That was a little fluky. Let's try that again. So block him, put X on a comeback. We're actually not blocking at all on this play. All right, so must be a little bug. But you see right there how that comeback route ends up getting open on that play. So what ends up happening is the wheel route converts the cloud flat into man-to-man, and then the comeback route breaks open and sits on the sideline. So you see how that wheel turns this cloud flat defender into man-to-man, and then this guy just turns around and he's wide open on the sideline. That's an easy throw for about 15, 16 yards that you can make. So So we'll go ahead and show that to you again here. If I want, let's go ahead and motion this guy across. This is being a little, this formation's blocking very weird here. So let's see. Yeah, we're just letting those guys in untouched every rip. That might just be the formation that I'm calling. That might be a bug. Let me double check that just to be sure for the sake of this video real quick. I'm going to call a different cover 2. That does not seem right whatsoever. So go back to formation 11 here. We're going to call the spot wheel. Let me go ahead and call just like a generic 3-4 under cover 2. Let's see if it does it out of this too, then we know it's bugged. Okay, so it let the D tackle in. Now you're going to see, but again, that comeback route just sits on the sideline. So yeah, maybe this play might have a little bit of bugs. So like if they're running kind of an even front, be careful. But to me, it looks like you can get away with, let me go ahead and ID the mic right here and see if that helps. Yeah, they're letting him through, but we're able to ID there, and at least we're able to pick it up. You see right there, we're able to, you know, find that comeback route on the sideline. Now, again, though, with the auto motion, you might go ahead and run it this way, where you see right here with the auto motion, it actually targets better. So believe it or not, that's just how, and right there, having the auto motion swing screened makes it so the route combination does not convert. So that's something for you guys to learn here within this little extra labbing and this tip, is that when you do have the auto motion, the cloud flat will not convert on the wheel route. It'll actually stay on the comeback route. So let me show you that again here. So while the formation blocks correctly with the swing screen, it doesn't actually convert the cloud flat on the wheel. So you see right here how he doesn't convert. Now I'm not able to throw that. So that's something to be careful with. You know, obviously if you want to use that manipulation, you can't have the auto motion swing screen. My recommendation against that, I guess, would be to block the running back, maybe motion the tight end across the formation and try to block him. That might help your front out a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And then what you end up with is now you can throw that comeback route. So a little extra labbing comes through for us in the clutch here. Guys, that is Spread Series Episode 4. Little gun Y off for you guys. A little touch pass, a little midline read option, some regular read options, some motion halfback screen, and the spot wheel play with a couple manipulations and a diving post. Nice little 18-minute video here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Drop any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints below. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next video. Also, be sure to check out playbook.gg, $9.95 per month. You can cancel anytime. It gives you access to everything on the website. And like I said, that ant cap doubles is on the way. Until tomorrow, guys, get in the lab and good luck.